Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Programming in My Way. In this session, I'm going to show you demonstration of floating action button and snack bar. So floating action button is one of the view in Android, whereas snack bar is one of the Android widget which is introduced in Android 23, that is in Marshmallow. So you are already aware about Toast widget in Android that was there since Android 1.0. So in whenever the material design concept is introduced in Android 23, so along with that material design, this snack bar is introduced in Android. Okay, so snack bar has some advantages over this Toast widget. Okay, so nowadays many developers they are preferring snack bar over Toast, but again Toast and snack bar there are differences, they have their own advantages and drawbacks also. So we are going to see the demonstration of floating action button and the snack bar. So let us start with the demonstration. So create new project. I'm selecting empty activity. I'm giving name demo app. I'm giving name to my application as demo app. The rest of the things I'm keeping as it is. We already discussed them in earlier sessions. I've created new project named demo app, and in this project we'll have the floating action button and the snack bar concept. Display the snack bar. You can find this floating action button in WhatsApp application. Okay, so whenever you visit WhatsApp application, then you can get this floating action button on chat activity, then on status activity, on calls activity. So there are three floating action buttons are present. One is there on chat tab, under chat tab, second is there under status tab, and third is there under calls tab. Okay, now this floating action button you can also find in Gmail application. Compose floating action button is there. So when you open the Gmail application from your mobile phone, then you can find this floating action button in the form of compose button. And whenever you click on that compose floating action button, and suppose you type any mail to someone, and when you click on send button, then immediately snack bar will appear there, and it shows that on left hand side sent message is there, and right hand side there is a undo option is there. So snack bar is actionable, whereas Toast is non-actionable. That means Toast you can't perform any action on Toast, but you can perform action on snack bar. Okay, both are Android widget concepts, and you know that we can customize the position of Toast. We can display Toast anywhere on the screen. By default its position is bottom center. Snack bar is always appeared at bottom side. We can't change its position, whereas we can change the position of Toast. But Toast we can't perform any action on Toast. We can't handle the Toast getting, but we can perform action on snack bar. So these are the differences between Toast and snack bar. Now let us take one floating action button on this activity. So I am deleting this text, default text hello world, and see under this button category you can get the floating action button. So let us drag and drop this floating action button. So you will you can find this floating action button here at this position on WhatsApp, also on right hand side bottom, on right hand bottom side. And now when you drag and drop this, it is asking you to select the icon. So I am selecting the icon from this vector asset. So see what I have done. I have added floating action button. So as it is a floating action button, so it is like image button. So there will be button, and on that button there should be some image. So I'm selecting the image from this vector asset. So these are ready-made images available. Okay, so images are loading over here, and from this list you can select the image. So these are the ready-made images available, so you can select any. So I'm selecting this image, add circle, and just click on next and then finish. So this image will be added in the drawable folder. See, it is added in drawable folder. So select that and click on OK. So see, that image will be displayed there. So this is your floating action button. Now as we are using the constraint layout, so you need to set the constraint. So set the left side constraint, right side constraint, top constraint and bottom constraint, and then adjust your floating action button. So I have added floating action button over here. Getting? So what I am going to do, whenever user will tap on this floating action button, then SnackBar will be displayed over here. And I already told you that SnackBar is always displayed at the bottom side of your activity. Okay, so this is your floating action button. Okay, now go to main activity and just, that means we are going to tap on this floating action button. So retrieve its ID. So first create the object of floating action button. Create the object of floating action button and retrieve its ID using find view by ID method. So it's a ID default I'm selecting. See, you can see the ID of this floating action button is floating action button. You can also change that. For example, it is a AB underscore SnackBar. So I have given ID name as AB underscore SnackBar. Okay, so you can change that ID over here. So ID dot AB SnackBar. Getting? So here you can do the typecasting. Now see what we have done. We have created object of floating action button class here, and then we have retrieved the ID. Okay, that is r.id.pab underscore snackbar with the help of find view by ID method. So this method will give you the reference to floating action button, but we don't know the name of that reference. That's why we are assigning that result to our floating action button. Okay, nowadays this typecasting is also not required. Okay, as it is a button, so the event handling mechanism, which is very similar to your simple button as well as image button. So let us add a listener for this. So floating action button dot set on click listener, then now add the listener. So new, and then on click listener, just give the enter. So this on click is a event handler. Set on click listener method is used to set the listener. So which listener? On click listener. Okay, now here you need to add the logic. So which logic we are going to add here? Whenever user is going to tap on floating action button, then we are going to display the snack bar. We are going to display the snack bar. Okay, so we are going to tap on this floating action button, and at that point the snack bar will be displayed at the bottom of activity. So let us add the snack bar. Now see, snack bar, which is its a code is very similar to toast. So what is the code for adding toast? Toast.makeText. Here the code is snackbar.make. Make method is there. The first argument for make text method of toast is application context. Here it is a view. So this view, that means on which button or when this snack bar will be displayed. So when we are going to click on this button, at that time this will be displayed. So object of that button. Okay, so button is one of the view. So this method will be called whenever we tap on action floating action button. So the first argument is the button object, that is the view. Second one is the what is the message. So this message we are going to display. Third one is duration. Third one is duration. So it is very similar to toast, that is toast dot length underscore long, that is here snackbar dot length underscore long, and then you can display the show method. Okay, so let us see the demo of this. Let us see the output of this first. So run this application. Okay, so here your application is loaded. So this is activity, this is floating action button. So just tap on this floating action button, you will get snack bar. So this is snack bar. So it will be disappeared automatically once that duration is over. So this is snack bar. So floating action button and snack bar. Now this snack bar is static one, that means it is not actionable. Now we are going to place the action on this snack bar. So let us see the code for same. So see here what we have done, we have created a snack bar with three arguments. First one is view, that means when this snack bar will be displayed. So whenever we click on this view, that is button, what message we are going to display, this is snack bar. And third one is duration, and then we have called show method to display that. Okay, now what I am going to do, before showing snack bar we are going to set the action. So set action and then that button name. So suppose I am adding here undo button. So in case of Gmail application, whenever you click on compose button, whenever you type the text of your email, and when you click on send button, then immediately you are getting one snack bar. So on left hand side you are getting the sent message, on right hand side you are getting the undo button. So that I am going to display over here. And then there is a listener you need to add. So you need to add the listener. So I have added the same listener, on click listener, and here you need to print the message getting that you are going to display. So just complete this. So I am again adding the snack bar. So snack bar dot make again view sent snack bar dot length long dot show, and this complete snack bar you need to do the show for getting. Now see the output. Now this snack bar will be actionable. This snack bar will be now actionable. So let us build the Gradle and then install the APK and then launch the activity. Then we'll see the output. Now see here we got the fresh output. Now see, click on this and you got the undo button over here. See, this is snack bar. So this one is the this message you got, snack bar getting, and now this undo button is displayed on right hand side of this, and when you click on this undo button you are getting the sent message again in snack bar. Okay, so this is floating action button. When you click on this you are getting the snack bar. The message is this is snack bar and action is undo. So when you click on undo action, then you can undo that operation. So simply instead of that I have displayed one more snack bar. So this is the simple demonstration of floating action button and snack bar. So thanks for watching. If you like my videos, then please subscribe, comment and share to my YouTube channel Programming in Mind.